also high execution. Like, you can't afford to miss like your rel engages or your Sona ults, because if Tristana has free roam on these team fights, he's going to be outputting so much damage.
So let's then talk about what we sort of expect in these first 10 minutes. You mentioned already that Schönfire should be able to utilize a lot of his experience to get a bit of an advantage here, whereas much more for Swiper will be about getting through the laning phase, or getting through those camps and assisting his teammates in those laning phases to get themselves into those objective points. But are you expecting an area of focus? Are you thinking bot lane, for example, where Seraphine Sona try to get the edge?
I'm not really sure like how the priority goes on bot lane. I assume that like it's going to be pretty even, but like one of Rel's strengths is like her invade is really good. Like her Q smite execute threshold is like so high for an early game champion, so it's very easy to steal away camps if Schönfire does want to do a bit of disruption like in the early game.
What if somebody does decide to go for? Because as it has been from their first 2 games on the stage here for Grand Zero, Schönfire has been relentless in his pursuit of targeting that bot lane. Lanes, or rather sides, are switched, so not going to have that red side lane luxury that we always talk about as a very scary place for an AD carry to find themselves. But I am curious if you know, Draco does get that chance to rotate as freely as he would be hoping for to try and impact those other lanes.
This is very interesting.
This is looking like a cheeky little invade where Zorinus is doing some crazy things at level 1.
He is rotating around the chickens. He has that double R combo, which does an insane amount of damage level 1. See if he steals away the chickens.
See if he steals away the chickens and also steals away Schönfire's HP bar, because he's getting so low. Look at that. Insane. Even with the smite to regen a fair bit of it up. He sent a message and said, good luck in your jungle parving. That's good chance now for Swiper to try and pull ahead despite being seen on that ward.
Schön also committed his smite to killing that camp, so he's still going to be level 1 with no smite on the second camp. He's falling very far behind in clear speed right now, so Swiper is pretty much sitting free for the rest of this early game.
Is that enough to actually send him back to base to regen up? Can he do the buffs? That's my question right now. I mean, you're looking at this and thinking, surely Antic are feeling so happy about a really cheeky play coming out from Zorinus, which I think he's quite renowned for.
Yeah, it was honestly just really smart pathing from him. He just walked all the way around, like slowly checking vision, made his way into the jungle, and he found his little avenue to get a tiny advantage for his team.
Let's see. Oh, look at Ryoma. He's found his moment. Level 2, instant jump on Kisei's head. Is he going to pay the price? This one's so low. He burned everything in that one. He'll have a TP to get back to base. But I like the aggression already on. Saying to Kisei, yeah, you might be the big dog, but I'm home now. Let me show you what's up.
I think he didn't really time the bone playing there well, and I think he cancelled 2 autos. He maybe had lethal there, but you know, he still flashed out, survived. Doesn't really change his lane phase, but Corki does get a free reset because of that.
He does get a free reset, can hold into the TP whenever they so desire. As we look at bot lane, it's just a mirage of skill shots flying all over the place. We're going to try and see who can land there one more successfully. And a very rare start here for the AD carry. We see a Cole coming out here from Limas.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of a nothing lane is going to happen bot. Like, Limas knows that, so he's going for the ultimate like income build. Like, I'm going to get as much build as I can. I don't need Thorin's Blade to play this lane. It's just it's better buy.
Yeah, basically, given that what King's going for the tier as well, it is all looking to stack up. Farm away, you get some stacks for that for an item later on. I get some gold to cash in at a later date as well. Happy days on either side as the great journey begins already. Only 4 minutes into this one, as Draco will be looking around, finding what he can, try and impact the map, as will his teammate in Zorinus, returning for a second dish at delivering some pain. Schönfire's life is certainly getting cut out for him.
Yeah, Zorinus is being an absolute pest here. Schön does secure the red though.
He cannot, but he gets the stun. The swiper, yes! The flash, the stun against the wall. I was hoping it would happen, and that's first blood, just like that.
Just this insane early game from Zorinus. As they are fighting bot lane, heal does go out.
Enough to get a kill on that occasion, but really well done. Great play from Zorinus there, and the heads up for understanding that, look, we can collapse in this play. Stun, flash, get that kill. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think that Swiper was the one that's been jungling for ages.
Yeah, Zorinus is fine picking his champion, invading, denying camp, still getting priority in his lane, re-invading, killing the jungler for his team. Like, he's pretty much solo carrying this early game.
He's trying to do it all on his own right now and showcasing why he deserves to have a starting spot and not be the sub. How crazy is that? Zorinus joining this team initially as a sub top laner. They're getting a chance to display and work with Swiper and making it work so successfully right now. Roma with a great deal of push here. He's going to try and weave in some damage from those minions in towards Kisei as well, as they both wrestle for level 6. Damage continues from this Udyr. And, well, I'm keeping a very firm eye as to how Zorinus' game goes.
Zorinus does not have access to the TP here, while Steam does. Steam's going to come back with full health and resources, and he's going to be pretty comfortable in this lane where Zorinus is going to have to try and find a way to get a reset. Swiper is fighting. He can't deny the jump away with his W.
Three members collapsing. Shoonfire could be in trouble right now. Has to flash. Good flash to safety. Not going to take any chances to get interrupted with that leap across the wall. Terrain was there. A stun was certainly being ready. But a good start overall for Antic and for Ground Zero. I mean, it's not the end of the world. They've still got an insanely strong composition. But it's just not the start that they've been hoping for.
Have started the grubs here, and this is one of the strengths of Bard and Sonar. Like, Bard is just able to move around the map freely. Seraphine is not going to get punished by such a weak early game support. And they're going to find themselves the objective early on.
Roma jumping in, level 6, they're ready to go. Looking to try and hit him with that knockback afterwards. Explosive shot, just not enough to get the job done. But ultimately, I think he's not going to be too upset by that one. Just wanted to crash that wave, and was certainly successful in doing that.
Yeah, he still hasn't gone to base yet, so like it's just a little bit of a trade before he bases, like to reset the wave. I doubt Kisei's going to stay for another wave, so it's going to be neutral. He gets his buy, probably the Noon Quiver, goes for the boost instead, so he's got a bit more pressure around the map, it's completely fine. And, you know, I think both teams are probably feeling pretty comfortable right now. Like, nothing too crazy's happened. Like, they don't really mind if Rel gets pressured a bit early. She's still going to do her job.
Well, that's it. I mean, you saw there with the numbers mismatch because of Draco roaming. It made it very easy for Antic to have access to those Void Grubs, so they pick up all 3 on that first spawn. Ground Zero then utilised their numbers advantage to go for the very first Dragons. So both teams just playing for what's available, what's easy, and what they can look to try and aim for. In terms of what you'd be looking at as a sort of a win here for Antic, is it as simple as saying that Roman needs to get ahead in this lane and sort of keep Kisei down, or is it one of those things where it's like a scaling champion, you're never going to keep it down?
No, I think Tristan is completely fine to match scaling with Corki. Like, if not, I think Tristan outscales Corki just because Tristan has access to consistent damage. Steam's trying to pull the wave here to deny the dive that could happen. Swipe is going in anyway.
Yeah, Roman with no ultimates, we can't look to try and do an insec as the Tristana. He can just leap away, becoming Mega, getting a whole bunch of HP and hitting a boulder on the fadeaway to make sure that these two have to go back to base. Another massive wave crashing in. Zonus, with all these points invested in Phoenix, it's just having a field day here.
Yeah, well played by Thien there. Like, it's just Veterancy that comes in. We have the Mega timing for when the wave is stacking to your turret. Pretty much it's just impossible to dive the Mega now at that point in the game. Gets away with it. Kisei gets a free wave shoved in mid. Like, this is still just like small wins for mid, like of all these skirmishes, is what I'm seeing for Ground Zero.
That's all they need, because Kisei is up by so much right now, having weathered all that potential first blood action. He finds himself up by at least a wave and a half, and will be feeling pretty content that things have gone their way. As we already mentioned, Lemus as well. I mean, despite them being down a fragile amount of gold, they've got so much to capitalize and actually cash in afterwards, right? So once that coal's done, Lemus will start to come into effect. And I'm interested, I mean, the Nyla, do you see this as a champion that has really benefited from all the changes on Season 14?
I believe so. I think Nyla still goes a lethality item first into crit, as we do see a jump in mid with a flash.
We certainly do, as Kisei was grounded for the meantime there, so it made it a little bit awkward for him to try and make a place. The flash to knock up the ultimate in his face, get the kill! They greeted for such a long time, but the Magnet Storm just gets jumped out of, and Shoonfire just a little bit too late to the play. And I tell you what, Swiper's debut in jungle, it's looking good.
I think that was well played by Swiper there. I do believe he flash cancelled, so Corki was unable to get away. So I think that's really well played, like heads up from him.
Great start overall, and it's definitely made sure that Roma can look to try and catch up to where Kisei was going. He was starting to really fall ahead, or rather push ahead with that CS difference, so a kill certainly interrupts that flow. And Draco will find himself locked in lane for the meantime to make it a straight 2v2, but a bit of a nothing lane, so we're not going to look at that for too much longer, because both Zornis and Thien are really trading blows as much as they can.
I think something else to touch on is we do see the double support items in bot lane. You would probably assume this favors Sonar a lot more, because like we don't really care if Bard is getting extra gold, like it's Bard at the end of the day. Whereas like Sonar with that extra items, like, that is a hyper carry in the support role. So like just trading evenly is going to favor Ground Zero here.
I want to say, you know, CS doesn't actually matter, because when we check in with the overall gold, we'll see that suddenly some person that's like 0 and 5 still has more gold because that item is absolutely broken. Let's see it once again. How does this get played? Because Swiper jumps in, yeah. W interrupting him, grounded, flash too late, and by that point the damage is already done.
Yeah, nice by Swiper there as well to have the heads up to push the Rel away instead of using E on the Corki. He knew that Ryan would be able to secure the kill, and he just made sure that his carry had free access to killing the Corki there.
And that's experience personified right there. Look how close this is, straight down the middle. I don't think we've ever had a 50-50 that I can remember off the top of my head, but look, a 51-49. I think even the viewers are like, who actually wins this? We don't know.
That's honestly how I feel about this matchup as well.
Yeah.
We are seeing the Grub respawn as well being started by Swiper. I do believe he got the first 3 as well, so if he gets access to 6, it's going to be really good for his team comp. Having that many grubs on champs like Tristana and Udi who have access to turret is like quite an insane amount of tempo they can have.
Absolutely, yes. 6 of those. It's going to be too much to bear, that is for sure, given that both those towers have been getting pushed in the entire time. And they've still got, what, another few minutes to work their magic to summon all those Void Mites to get all that plate gold to really try and snowball themselves ahead. Will the trade-off once again be that with Antic grabbing that, Ground Zero can look to try and play towards the Dragon? Well, I'd imagine it all depends as to where Draco is. If he's rotating around the map or if he's looking to try and stay in the lane and maybe land a massive Temper Fate to buy him some more time. We'll wait and see. First item spikes coming across. A bit of a different build from Kisei compared to what we saw from Reed Fury. He's actually going to opt for a rush on the Eclipse.
Yeah, it's just a nice item to have now because you get that shield and the base lethality is just so strong at this point in the game that Corki's just a bit more like he's defensive. You know he's going to be jumped on by Tristana. He's adapting his item build to like his matchup. He's still going to be doing a decent amount of damage as well, so he's not too worried.
He's going to be doing a lot more damage in a second because he's got the package in his possession and he's just waiting for a chance to utilize just that. So he says, you know what, I'll use it on Swiper. You've got no flash. You can't run up because you're burned. You can't run down because there's a jungler. You've got no way out. So he's down for 10 seconds and that Dragon surely is looking like a tasty treat now for Ground Zero, but they've rotated all the members up. He's actually going to be Linus to start that one up on his own.
Yeah, Swiper doesn't decide to use his ult there to push away the rest of the team of Corki packaged in. Unfortunately died. I don't expect to see Antic want to contest this anymore. But you know, we'll see. I've been wrong about O's before. Like we could see a fight break out right now.
Let's see what decides to happen here because both King and Draco have so much utility with their ultimates to lock down members for such a long time. Double TP available from these top laners if they were to get involved, but they don't seem to be too interested. Out goes the Tempered Fate, down goes the Dragon. Ground Zero pick it up. Double TP coming on in now. Mountain, or rather Magnet Storm onto multiple members as they're jumping around, but massive shot back from Tien. He's found one with that, and he's served that second to Lemos, who gets a double in the process. They win the Dragon fight, and they get 3 kills after.
Yeah, I think that was just a bit of an overexertion from Antic there. Like they didn't have the positioning. They didn't have the teammates to be there straight away. Like, the Andis has a beautiful TP from behind, finds the Gnarl, and the rest of the team is able to clean up very easily, as we do see from the replay. Nice bot ult does land into a huge Seraphine ult, but they just don't have the champions to follow up on this kind of engage. They don't have the AoE or the damage yet. Like, a nice turn ult to lock down both carries into, like, Nyla going in and finding a good ult. Lemus jumps out, so he doesn't get killed, and it's just easy cleanup for Ground Zero from this point.
It certainly is. And it's going to be a bit of a head spinner for me because I said the Magnet Storm, but it's the Apotheosis, right? Both these champions essentially doing the exact same thing with their ultimates of dragging everybody in together. A bit of a nightmare, no doubt, to try and keep your eyes on. Be staring at that ult cooldown to see which one is getting used at either time. But would you say that's like kind of the foundation of what Ground Zero's comp is built to do, is just to find those big stun setups and then try and burst them within that window?
Yeah, I would want to like play my poke game with Corki and make the enemy team feel like they need to like engage with me because Corki should be a solo threat enough. And then once you find that like they're converging on Corki, you find those like wombo combo engages, like 4 champs who can wombo combo. And that's just team fights are just pretty much bread and butter from that point.
That is as easy as you like. I guess it is the classic right with a poke champion. Get them low enough that they get pissed off and say, we have to fight. Oh wait, we've just run into a massive AoE ultimate. We're in a bit of trouble right now, which certainly could be true here for Tien. He's about to tick over into Mega. And that'll certainly make it a little bit harder and certainly tell Antic that maybe even in a 3v1, we don't want to dive. This will look elsewhere, turn our attention towards mid lane, and I'll tell you at the moment, Antic absolutely dominate this lower river. It all belongs to them.
Yeah, they don't really have the setup to trade too well either. Like, the end does have no flash here, but he's respecting, so it's pretty hard for them to do anything. Good thing about this is Seraphine is able to like defend mid pretty easily. Like, her wave clear is like insane at this point in the game.
But just look how much they're denying by both Swiper and Draco hanging out together and making sure that Tien cannot get to this tower. The plates have gone down, but Roma's been given all this free CS experience and time to take the tower down and try and keep up on the pace with Kisei. Because I would say that's certainly one of his strongest points for Kisei, right? Is he just farms off an absolute treat.
Yeah, I think he's holding the CS per minute records right now in our league. And I think he also had like 113 CS per minute game, which is like quite insane, like hitting Chovy levels. He's always been known for someone who's like really good at farming, and like it's good to know that like he's starting to become like a really consistent like stable player in the league.
So you can ask for, right? Certainly a hot commodity. I'm sure he had a lot of offers going into this league as to who would take him and what roster he actually wanted to be surrounded by. But to hit the ground running when everybody is looking to try and, you know, find their feet, get their grasp of a new meta, figure out what these new items can do. And I think that's what we're starting to get right. We're getting new champions, we're getting new builds. Obviously the double support item will be something quite unique to this patch, as it will get changed in future ones. But whilst it's relevant, teams are keen to experiment with it.
Yeah, we're also seeing a lot of new items like come out as well. Like I don't think we've seen. I think this is the MR Sunfire on Rel. Like I don't think we've really seen this in any other games. And also the we are seeing the Frozen Fist Udyr. I do know that like Leander's Udyr is something that is being played, and I thought that the extra bit of AP damage from Udyr would have been something that they could have done well with this game. But you know, it's interesting to see that he did go for the Frozen Fist. Maybe he wants that little bit of extra slow pressure on the side lane so he can fight that Gnar.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's just all in on the identity of just all you know, tanky items, get a Frozen Heart in there, maybe a Randall's, whatever it may be, whatever's sort of needed, I suppose, in the heat of things. Because I feel like a Kanik is going to be a bit of a bait, especially with the Corki that can always take that spell shield down. Lane assignments, though, have been switched up a fair bit. So much roaming is the key thing I'm getting away from this, right, between the Poppy and the Bard. The lane assignments get a little bit awkward, but it definitely does mean that Grand Zero can't play it as standard as they would, right? They've always got to be careful of, it could be a 3v1 at any moment.
Yeah, you can definitely see like the team comps coming into play. The Bard is constantly linking up with Poppy. They're running around the map together. As we are seeing a collapse, nothing really happens.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, we see the Bard and the Poppy linking up. They want to be running around the map causing chaos. Sona is just sitting mid with Nyla and abusing that passive to just eat full creep experience. Like, we're going to see a 2-level lead happening in the support role, and Sona is the champ that just scales an insane amount. As we are seeing an all-in bot lane.
We certainly are. Zoranus looking for the kill onto Tien right now. He's just gone back to Mini, going to hop and jump away, but it does not matter. Look how quick the Udyr goes, runs him down with the speed of lightning, Ghost active.
That's the Frozen Fist.
Finally finds the killer he needs. And yeah, this build, that's only one item. Imagine once he's full build, this Udyr is going to be a terror.
Yeah, Zoranus is putting in a lot of work this game, honestly. I think he has the early game and the mid game of Antic on his back, and if they do want to hope to be able to play the rest of this game, like Zoranus will be the one to help him do that.
He certainly needs to be a big part of this game. Tempered Fate goes out, locks in place Benvi, the only target, instant flash away, Ryoma jumps in, Encore catches him, can he burst him within that explosive shot window? He cannot! Ryoma's being baited, he flashes away, instant buster shot to Kissane, who packages him once, Valkyrie's the second time and says, that's a double, make it a triple! Ryoma, welcome back home, but you've got to get through me first.
Yeah, this is just a combo of the Nyla dodge passive doing insane work there. Tristana couldn't get any damage onto the Sona while she was CC'd. Kissane comes down the middle with the package, splits up the entire fight, and from that point forward, it's just clean up.
Yeah, that dodge passive, I even forgot about it in the second. That is crazy value to say that, no, you're taking no damage here. Stand and deliver, and that's exactly what they did. 2 dragons to the name already, third one about to come on out, but let's run it back on this replay, because it all starts with Benvi getting called.
Yeah, so you can see the bottle lands onto Sona. He has flash here, so he's still confident that he's going to get out of here. Flash, heal, defensive line. You see the Nyla dodge comes through, straight onto the Sona, no damage is coming through. The Sona lands onto Tristana, plus the Corki patch coming down the middle. There's just so much damage going out, and Antic just can't really do anything about this at this point in the game.
So well done in terms of baiting them into that false sense of security, and then standing in the fire. The package was ripping through them and making it ever too easy, effortless really there for Kissane to snowball this game out of control in his favor. And that's actually enough for now for them to be in a pretty commanding lead, up by a full item at this point. 2.5k, and Ryoma's yeah, going to be looking at Kissane and thinking, yeah, I need a bit of time. Maybe I just sit in the side lane for a little bit longer now.
Yeah, like I think at this level of play as well, like having a lead like this kind of solidifies that, like, I think GZ, if they keep playing clean, they can close out this game. Because like when you see Corki able to like Valkyrie forward to a Tristana on side lane, you know the game is in a really bad state for you. I think that the scaling on GZ's side is like quite insane compared to Antic. I think that Sona matches the Seraphine really well, and like the fact that both carries from Ground Zero are ahead of the clock means that like it's going to be really hard for Antic to find any windows to like get back to the game.
Well, let's see if they can pull a rabbit out of the hat. We've talked about how strong Zoranus was before. He's got 2 items now. He certainly is a bit of a Titan to try and get through. He's got Swiper to be the original Titan to back him on up, but it's not going to be that easy right now because Ground Zero know they're strong, and they're certainly looking to try and push their advantage by playing aggressively, take down 2 structures at the same time, and really run riot around the map, forcing Antic to say, yeah, you can roam as a Poppy and Bard, but we're not going to actually allow you to get anything with that.
Yeah, like Antic are just trying to they're just getting desperate. They're trying to find the bottles. There's not really much else they can do. They're not doing anything wrong at this point in the game. It's pretty much all they can do. As we do see Udyr going in onto the Nyla.
Massive wombo combo, 2 members charmed at their command, shutdown found there by King. A second kill onto Schoenfeld, going to be a little bit harder to try and achieve though, because it is a route, a very tanky member. Swiper gets shot back there by Tien, his old teammate, as he leaps away to safety, but no safety will be found. Zoranus still alive in turtle form, and the knockback was good as Ryoma gets that kill onto the rail eventually. but a double found by Kisei. Double digits nearly as Kisei's halfway towards it at 5, but he falls on down, does Ryoma. 30 seconds as this Corki has ascended to the high heavens.
Yeah, this is the strength of the Seraphine comp. Like, they just got on top of Lemus and he was unable to do anything as he's just getting beat down by the Udyr. Like, really good job for Antic to find like any form of like even fight here. It's just, honestly, it just doesn't feel good that Corki's the one getting all these kills though.
Let's see then how it all started off initially. It was for Schoenfire just jumping on in, forcing the Herald to get that tower, and then Antic says, well, that's our time to shine, you grouped up.
Yeah, pretty much just like you see these double TPs coming instantly. This is like something you see from like really coordinated teams. Straight away this team fight happens, like TPs are going through, and it's just a lot of damage and a lot of stuff going on here. And it's lucky that Ryoma got back into the game. He found some kills here. I think this will be able to close that mid gap like quite a bit, but you know, Kisei's playing really well to secure these kills for his team, even with them being in losing positions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it's a great fact that you can pick up a double kill, but it is Kisei picking up the triple and, all importantly, taking down Ryoma in the process. And let's have a quick look at how the gold is looking right now, because I tell you what, my man Kisei is farming up an absolute storm, once again ahead of that 10 CS per minute, but then he's got all the kills in the world, the only bounty in the game, and if by some miracle you can take down Kisei, you're going to get an extra 1,000 gold, which is really neat if you look at that overall scoreboard right here and now. Zoran is jumping on in. He gets locked inside that Tempered Fate with the rest of the team. The Encle's too early! King! He's missed the mark, but they still get that kill. Benvi's dead. The look for another as the Magnastorm happens. The Apotheosis laid on top of it to lock them in place for such a long time. And then finally explosive shot. They're all clumped up together. The Tristana goes crazy with it. Rocket jumping left, right and center. Here we go. Bouncy castle. And it's a triple kill for the man.
This is just the strong veteran roster coming through. Like, they're doing so good to not fall to the pressure. They set up a trap. They executed their TP advantage. And they found all the kills, all the shutdowns going on to the right people. And then they can secure themselves a Baron as well. And they are sitting pretty.
Unbelievable turn of events there. You're thinking Ground Zero have got such a strong position. How do they lose it from here? Impossible. But they do. Let's run it back with this replay once again.
So you see Swiper go straight on to Schoenfire. He sits on top of him with the W, forces Schoen to flash out. Benvi's flash is very close to coming out. Even though Seraphine almost missed time, he doesn't have flash. They find him. Lemus, once again, no flash. Gets on top of Zorius, gets on top of him. He can't move anywhere. And they find Kisei as well on the exit of the fight. No flash. Another one that they just pick up. They get all these kills until all their carries, and I think that Antic might start running away with this game now.
I think the best part of it all was the fact that they all ran away, and you saw the 1,000 gold shutdown go the way of Ryoma, and he's completely back in the game now, going to be sitting really pretty as he can look to try and match the pain and pressure that Kisei has been dishing out. A turret falls on down as everybody groups up together. This is a 10-man coming together of a soul point being looked by Ground Zero. Antic have a Baron. They're feeling pretty strong about themselves, and rather than pushing lanes, they're all in for that fight.
I think it's really important here for Draco to hit a battle on Corki and force this package. Like, if Kisei's able to go forward with this package here, I think this team fight is going to be very hard for Antic.
Comes the Poppy Hammer. They knock away one to start things off with. Rome has already taken out Tien. There is that package. It's going to have to be burnt. It's going to go to the left to try and split apart this fight. Beautiful ult in that regard to make sure that nobody can follow him. And now it just Zominus against the world. Finally, it expires. They're going to try and wrap around this underside to get in. But then the rest of the team coming through that main frame and still Zominus goes on through. They're still looking for more, but 2 kills make it 3, found by Lemus. And at this point really is, who can carry harder? Because it's having a bit of a competition between himself and Kisei. Zominus, as strong as he is, as this Udyr, as quick as he is getting run down.
Beautiful. Honestly, I don't know what else to say. Like, Schoenfire holds his nerve, waits it out, sees the group, and goes straight in. Finds the triple engage. Lemus goes in and cleans up. It's just that combo stacking on top of each other. It's kind of just a bit of like a seesaw game. Like, we see GZ overextend, Antic punish, and now Antic have overextended, and they get punished by GZ. I think this fight started off really, really well for Antic. Like, as you can see, Tien is taking so much damage and dies before the fight even starts. Like, Ryoma finally found his items, so his damage isn't something you can ignore anymore. We see Kisei split the fight up again with the package and the Seraphine ult go wide, but Zorinus is just tanking up so much damage. He's so tanky. Like, you think Antic are in a really good position to win this fight, but as you can see, Schoenfire finds that huge engage onto the Antic roster, and it just lights out from there.
Look at that slow-mo into the massive cleanup that Lemus found. I mean, you could ask yourself the question. I suppose you can be the answer for it. Like, do you feel that Antic made a mistake actually over chasing for that fight there, or was it much more like, well, they have a numbers advantage, why wouldn't they?
I think that they should chase for sure. I just think it's about the execution. I don't think they put enough respect on Relsul having ulti. Like, you should really be working around that. And like at the high, like when you're at the highest levels, like you should. It's always about outplaying. It's not like, oh guys, like we can't do this because he can. X, Y, and Z might happen. You know, you're just always ready for every scenario and like you react accordingly.
Well, let's see how they react for this next upcoming fight, because Antic did steal away that all-important soul point. Gold has been spread around. You mentioned before that Kisei had too much of it. Well, now it's Limes who finds himself with 5 kills to his name. 7 share between both the mid laners. They're certainly going to be the late game powerhouses that you've come to love and know over all the years that League of Legends has been around for. But it's all about these AD carries. You say AD carry, I mean, King is still there in a way, but is certainly itemizing it towards all these support items. And if that Encore does hit, as it hasn't connected on these last 2 fights, I feel like that could be the difference maker here.
Yeah, to touch on itemization as well, we have seen the Mortal Reminder come out of Limus, which means that the healing come out of King will be like cut. It's not going to be as impactful as it was in these recent team fights. But there's no heal cut on the side of Antic, so Sono's going to have free ground in this team fight. As we see a TP coming in, they are collapsing.
They certainly are collapsing, and King knows of it. He's just looking to try and find the perfect angle. Instant flash away from that one, but in goes Schoenfire with a Magnet Storm. Where goes the Encore? It only hits onto one. It's only onto Schoenfire. King running up. We're trying to split this fight apart to try and buy more space for Antic to work around. You have to wait for Draku and Swipe to turn up to the fight. King is still alive. Kisei's missing rockets. He's buying so much time. He'll just take some minions at the same time as well, before he inevitably runs on down and maybe tries to actually lose aggro to deny himself to that tower. We continue all the way on the opposite end of bot lane. He did in fact deny himself, which is phenomenal work, and has wasted all of Kisei's time.
I think Kisei was trying to delay the death as much as possible, as we do see like double objectives spawning in a minute, and both these objectives are game deciding, so delaying that Seraphine respawn as much as possible would have been really effective, but you know, King with his knowledge just knows, you know, I need to get myself off the map as soon as possible and just run straight into the turret and dies.
I need to respawn as quickly as I can. As you saw, there was pressure elsewhere on the map, whilst Grand Zero were running and chasing after as many members as they could from Antic through that bot lane channel. It was Tien on his own little mission. Crashing in that top wave. Actually, all those turrets gone now. A completely exposed top lane turret to open up that base. And do you feel like that's the way a game could potentially go, that we just descend into split pushing, or very much what we've seen is what we're going to get, just more fighting after more fighting?
I think what we see and what we're going to get, like if you look at the GZ side, they have no TPs right now, so even if like they win this team fight, you're not really going to see them TP to a side lane and like win the game like that. I think that more than likely we're going to see the game decided in this next team fight around this objective.
Well, the next objective could be one of two, the Baron in 20 or the Dragon. Soul Point chance number 2 up in 20 as well. It's going to be the Hextech Soul. Not a bad one to actually pick up with the channels as well. Tempered Flash not going to be connected on. Benvi flashing out of that one. So no chance to try and hit a massive flash crescendo. Going to be a little bit more defensive in his positioning now as a result of that one. But Antic have bullied out Grand Zero from this Dragon Pit.
Collapsing the
question in, what would they decide to do instead? Because they found out Tien in the bot lane way too over pushed and surrounded by 5. He's in a lot of trouble. Dashes across the wall, runs into the waiting arms of his team, and Antic have been completely taken.
Yeah, they got put on a little bit of a journey there, you know, but they still got the flash out of now, which is huge, less backline threat. Looks like Antic are just starting. Kisei's only grabbing the package now, so they know he's not here.
Yeah, it's going to be a 4v5. Kisei's got no TP, but he's got all that movement speed from having the package, so he's running as quick as he can. Benvi falls on down first of all. Tien leaps in, gets shoved on back. Dominus finds that kill, but now here comes Kisei, packaging into 3. He can do so much damage, look at that! He's taken out so many with the assistance of Limes that it doesn't even matter if he rocks up to the fight late. He gets the job done.
He didn't even try to run, he just packaged in. He's like, I'm going down with or without you guys. No, huge respect. I think that's really well played by Limus there to turn the fight around with these ult flash. Obviously really good. You know, maybe we'll see it in the replay as well. I think Rara did a really, really good job of marking the Nada. You see he ulted him out of the fight as well, which was like something that... All these little tiny micro interactions that we'll see in this replay are like very impressive from both sides. And we see the Poppy Copter knocking Rel away. We see that all the damage is going down here. Benvi goes down, doesn't have flash. You watch Dean, gets pushed out the fight straight away the Rel ult. I mean the Tristana ult. Limus does so much damage here, and then we have Kisei going and just stand and deliver. He's doing so much work. I
mean, he just stood still and said, there's my package, here's all my rockets, good luck. Like, you know, we are going to be fighting to the death, and Limus just entertains the idea, right, and is there to play clean-up crew with him. And whilst Antic have been doing a good job of stalling this one out in terms of no soul point, I mean, Granzero said, we've had enough of this one. We know we're strong. We just continue to fight like we have been. TP in, no hesitation, straight away, take that Baron.
Yeah, it's just really well played. They see Seraphine bot. Even though Seraphine has DP, it's like, at this point in the game, there's way too much damage. There's way too many items, and like objectives just melt.
Yeah, it was just too little, too late, wasn't it? TP coming in there from King. By the time he'd arrived, the Baron had already fallen on down. And as you mentioned, right, we're fast approaching level 18 on a lot of these max carries, and certainly working their way towards that 5th and final item.
Yeah, remember, still looking for his Bloodthirster. I feel like when he gets this item, like, he's gonna have a much easier job in team fights because like so much of the damage coming out isn't one shot. It's just a bit of poke. Like he gets whittled down, but if he's able to sustain up in these team fights with Seraphine plus his Bloodthirster, he's going to be much happier.
Absolutely. Needs to sustain, first of all, doesn't he? To try and weather all this pain and harass and actually stick around. No, the face check, Benvi, don't do it! He's spreading them out completely. The movement speed to run away afterwards. I know exactly where they all are. Do not face check that bush.
Benvi is giving me anxiety. No flash, running into the bush.
It's a squishy Sona, like, come catch me, guys.
I've seen this way too many times with Benvi. I'm getting flashbacks.
Bro is playing on the edge right now, but he's managed to figure out the madness behind it all. Does he do it again? Surely not. The face chicken to Zoranus. He says, all right, bring it on. 3-man crescendo. Schoenfire looking for something. An ideal chance for a Magnet Storm, but Antic looking to try to stay just far enough back that it wouldn't be too easy for them to set that one up. Meanwhile, Tien, once again, pushing another wave, fading out a Tempered Fate, and really forcing Antic to run out of ideas and solutions to the problem, which is Granzero in your face.
Yeah, Antic is making it really, really hard to siege the space. Like, you kind of forget that GZ has Baron here, and like they just really haven't got access to the other siege's turrets.
There's been a few ultimates to try and make this one a reality, and Granzero have said, well, what else do you have left to throw at us? Not that much, so let's actually start to siege things up and make things happen. Rooted in place to Schoenfire, he's altered the ground, and then being knocked back, he burnt the flash. It's a real disaster, as he will be the first one to fall on down. Benvi's so low, but it doesn't matter, because Lemus has fallen. No passive this time to dodge out these attacks, and now it is Reset City, baby. Double, soon to be a triple, you'd have to imagine, because where is Benvi going? And King says, maybe we can just play together and delay your recall.
They probably think that they can end here. That's why Remember decided not to chase. I think that like that quick thinking is very, very good. They have 30-second timers on most of the players from GZ, so we'll see what they can do. Remember, they do have the 6 grubs they got earlier, so these turrets will be absolutely melted.
Absolutely getting shredded right now. They had no wave before, so it took them so long to try and take down that first turret, but the second one went down in little to no time whatsoever. With 10 seconds left of the Baron. Oh, Benvi! You psycho! Easily taken out Swiper. He's just pumped one. He's burnt flash to try and do that. Oh no! This is looking a little bit dicey right now. The 3-man crescendo make it 4 actually as the respawn happens. Schoenfire is here. 1 turret down. Benvi dead. Onto the second one they go. Looking to try and end this game right here, right now. Temper Fate goes across. Rome is still damaging. They're on towards the Nexus, and they do it! In 33 minutes, Antic pull a rabbit out of our hat and say,